Alright guys, I'm going to talk about it a little bit in class, but I want to make a video too. So as we go through this anatomy of reproduction, our goal is in the end to start writing case studies. So in our class specifically, a case study is like a story that would lead someone to like a medical analysis essentially. So you as a student are going to be writing it as if you were calling the vet to tell them something that has happened to your animal reproductively, and then kind of processing that information. So this worksheet is kind of building up to that. So I want to talk through it. So pick 2 male and 2 female organs and write a statement about what would happen if a specific organ did not serve its function. Remember, the key thing is function. So I gave you guys 2 examples. So one for male, one for female. So I did testicles and ovaries. They're the easiest, and I want you guys to critically think a little bit more, so I kind of took those options away, but also giving you an example. So win-win for me. Testicles is the organ I'm going to talk about first. So in the event that the testicles did not work, they were not functioning, what would happen? So in this part right here, you're going to write a statement about what would happen. What would happen if those organs were not functioning, they were not playing their role, they were not working. So my statement for this was the animal would not produce sperm or testosterone, because that's the function of the testicle, is to produce sperm and testosterone. Okay, you can't stop there though. What would happen in the event they don't produce sperm and testosterone? So you have to think of it more of as a domino effect. So yeah, they're not going to make sperm and testosterone, but what domino effect does that have? So I led on. Therefore, the animal would have both no desire to breed, because remember, that's the function of the testosterone. They're not going to want to breed. They're not going to have motivation or instincts to do that, because that's what that hormone does. And they have no sex gamete to impregnate a female with. So on the slight chance that for some odd reason this animal does breed, which he's probably not going to, he doesn't have any sex cells or sex gametes to impregnate the female with. So even if he breeds, he's not going to produce a viable offspring. Okay. Now, testicles and ovaries are very similar in their function, except for what they're producing, right? So in the event of an animal not having an ovary that doesn't function properly, the animal would not produce an ova or the egg, and it would not produce estrogen or progesterone. Again, domino effect. What's happening because they're not producing those things, okay? Therefore, they would never come into heat or allow a bull to breed them. So if they don't have progesterone and estrogen, they're never going to come into heat. They're never going to ovulate. They're just not going to. So they're more than likely never going to let the bull breed them. But in the event, again, that does happen, there is no sex gamete. So there's no ova. There's no egg. There's nothing for the sperm to combine with to create a zygote or to create an offspring. So again, even though in a fantasy world, she lets the male breed with her, it's never going to produce anything, because her ovary is not producing ova. Okay. So you get to pick 2, again, 2 for the male, 2 for the female, and you get to write your own statement. I am going to be super critical about making sure that you're explaining that domino effect again. So if they didn't have a testicle, yes, of course, they're not going to produce sperm or testosterone, but what's the domino effect of that? What does that mean for the livestock? As far as reproductive soundness, what's going to happen to the animal, okay? And in not every single case does it mean that the animal will not be able to reproduce. It just might not be able to reproduce efficiently, or there might be damage caused. So you have to kind of critically think. So this, again, might be one of those assignments where you turn it in and I grade it and I throw it back to you and say, I highlighted some stuff, I need some more information. And again, this is a building block for those case studies that we're going to be building as a summative standards toward the end. So please make sure you're completing this and make sure you're taking it and really trying to critically think through it. Okay.